In Al Jazeera developing story, North Korea says Pyongyang tested pair of blastic missiles. The test comes just days after North Korea tested a long-range cruise missile and if confirmed will be a breach of UN sanctions. North Korea, which celebrates its founding earlier this week, is thought to have tested a pair of ballistic missiles in a contraventions of sanctions. North Korea fired a pair of ballistic missiles off its coast on Wednesday, South Korea's Joint Chief of Staff JCS said 2 days after Pyongyang announced it had launched a long-range cruise missile. The North has been building up weapon program in recent years after talks aimed at dismantling its nuclear and ballistic missiles program broke down in 2019 over sanctions relief. The nuclear-armed North fired two unidentified ballistic missiles from its central inland area into the sea off its east coast, the JCS said in a statement. The missiles were fired just after 12:30 p.m. 3:30 GMT, flying 800 km 497 miles to a maximum altitude of 60 km 37 miles. North Korean and US intelligence agencies are conducting detailed analysis, this added. Japan's Coast Guard also reported an object, possibly a ballistic missile, landing outside its exclusive economic zone. The firing threatened the peace and safety of Japan and the region and are absolutely outrageous, Suga said. The government of Japan is determined to further step up our vigilance and surveillance to be prepared for any contingencies, he said. Both Suga and South Korean President Moon Jae-in convened sessions of their national security councils to discuss the launches, according to their office. The foreign minister of South Korea and China were holding talks in Seoul on Wednesday amid concerns over the recent missile test and denuclearization negotiations between Pyongyang and Washington, which have been stalled since 2019. The North Korea is under international sanctions for its nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles programs. The China is its only major ally. Leif Erik Isli, a professor at Eva University in Seoul, said the North appeared determined to proceed with its military modernization, but the timing of the test could take Beijing appear unable to restrain Pyongyang. It also highlighted China's responsibility to do more to safeguard stability in Northeast Asia. He added in an email, the ballistic missile test banned under UN sanctions are North Korea's first since March this year, destabilizing impact. The US military's Indo-Pacific Command said it was aware of the missile launches and said it posed no immediate threat to US, its military or ally. The missile launch highlights the destabilizing impact of DPRK's illicit weapon program. The US commitment to the defense of Republic of Korea, and Japan remains ironclad, it said in a statement. A man watches South Korea's new report about the latest North Korean missile test. South Korea's military said the two missiles flew 800 kilometers 800 kilometers before landing in the sea. Yang Mo Jin, a professor at the University of North Korea Studies in Seoul, said Wednesday's launch talks Wednesday's launch looks like North Korea's indirect message and even request to Beijing for the North Korean peninsula to be addressed as a central agenda for the China. At the same time, Pyongyang seems to be claiming stressing that North Korea is taking the lead in the Korean peninsula issue, told the AFP news agency. On Monday, North Korea said it tested what state media described as a strategic long-range cruise missile, with the analysis suggesting the weapon could be capable of carrying a nuclear warhead. State media said the missile flew from 15 kilometers 93 miles. Nuclear diplomacy between the United States and North Korea stalled in 2019 when the US rejected the North's demand for major sanctions relief in exchange for dismantling an aging nuclear facility. The Biden administration announced it had completed a review of North Korea policy in May that while denuclearization remained a priority to it, would not seek any grand bargain with North Korean leader Kim Jong. US envoy for North Korea Sung Kim said on Tuesday the US had no hostile intent towards Pyongyang and hopes it responds relatively to offers for talks on its weapon programs. Meet Wang on Wednesday. Moon asked for China's support to restart dialogue, saying North Korea had not been responding to offers from either Seoul or Washington for talks or engagement, such as a humanitarian, said Moon's spokesman. Said the nuclear envy of US the nuclear envy of South Korea, Japan, and United States were meeting in Tokyo this week as well. Kim's government has so far rejected dialogue and threatened to escalate its weapons developing, accusing the US of hostility despite its diplomatic efforts.